Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'm going to cover The Avengers, issue 180, published in 1979 by Marvel Comics. I do a lot of dollar bin diving, and I have talked about it on the show before. And now and then you have that serendipitous moment when you run into a truly special comic, not necessarily because of its incredible value or the fact that it's super rare, but just because it's something that's a touchstone, it's really good, it's recognized by many other collectors as being just a seminal issue, a really good issue. This is one of those issues. And while it is coverless, I'm a fan of coverless comics. I have a whole collection of them. I keep them around the house in stacks. You know, they're the ultimate beater comics, really. You can read them without fear. They've already lost the cover. What else could happen? So having a coverless comic version of this is pretty cool. When picking it up for $1, I was all on board with that. So our creators here are David Michelinie, writer, John Byrne and Gene Day, artists, F. Mooley, colors, which I think is probably standing for many. There were many different colorists. Elaine H. letters, Roger Stern, editor, Jim Shooter, editor-in-chief. And I'll pull out my Epic collection here, which is volume 10 of the Avengers, just to show you folks the incredible George Perez cover that this issue had. Really nice, very cool. And of course we can see a nice level of reproduction here, obviously. But I am going to read the good old newsprint version because that's what I'm about here. Whenever I can read a newsprint version, I generally do. Our title, On the Matter of Heroes. Saturday afternoon at the Regency, where decades-old epics flicker to life, revived, and remarked upon. I don't understand, Beast. People flock to these fantasies in droves, like they're hell-bent on escaping from the real world. But why? It's called vicarious self-actualization transferal, Wendy. Now pipe down and finish your popcorn. So this is awesome. We have our incredible duo of Wonder Man and the Beast, and I really think that this little 3-page sequence here cements their friendship. Beast was, of course, instrumental in Wonder Man's revival being brought back from the dead as a Zavembi. But here, they sort of start to get to know each other a little better, pal around a bit. And we're going to see that moving forward continue in several instances. And their friendship is really awesome. And I have to say, this John Byrne, Gene Day artwork on this issue is spectacular. Just look at this sequence of the Beast. Folks need people to add excitement to their lives. People who can do things they can't. Things like this. Mommy, look, a blue Wookiee. Hey, Gladys, it's the Beast. Oh, he's cute. So here, this Beast is past his maudlin stage where he was complaining about his transformation. Now he's kind of become a sex symbol of sorts, and he's enjoying it. And he's also very much a madcap and fun character, which is nice. And here they're back at Avengers Mansion, and they're attacked by the security system. And I think one of the things this issue is so valuable for, on some levels as collectors, is we get the first appearance of Scott Lang, which we're about to see here. Which, since I'm just a tad short of Thor in strength, doesn't mean beans to me. Yeah, well, you may have the muscles, Wendy, but the bubbly, bouncing Beast has the style, and knots to you, detention coils. Cut the clowning, Beast. Something's very wrong here. And that can mean the Avengers are in trouble. We've got to get inside. Awesome. I remarked in my last episode about characters bursting through wooden doors. Man, John Buscema's got nothing on John Byrne here. That looks pretty great. And I have to say, I love the Gene Day inks on John Byrne's pencils. It's so kind of a lighter touch. And they're a nice pairing. And here is our Scott Lang. Sheesh, when you super types knock on a door, you knock on a door. All right, wise guy. Either you tell us just what the blaze is going on here, or I'll put him down, Wonder Man. Hey, Gyrick and Mr. Stark? This is Scott Lang, one of my employees, and those tentacles you just shredded were part of the new security system he's installing. A rather expensive part, I must add. So here we have Gyrick, who's a professional jerk. Oh, I love this Herb Trimpe ad for Shogun Warriors. Gyrick, who's a professional jerk, is going to be menacing the Avengers this issue by limiting their numbers, forcing them to make difficult personnel decisions. And of course, Tony Stark, we know, is Iron Man, and this is the old school Iron Man outfit in the briefcase. Love it. And then this mysterious figure is going to play a big part toward the middle and end of the story here. It's going to usher us into that Yesterday Quest saga. And I should add, too, this issue is humming on all cylinders because of the synergy between David Michelinie, John Byrne, and Gene Day, and also John Byrne's regular partner in crime, Roger Stern, is the editor here. So, yeah, Byrne is on X-Men at this point and doing this, and I think also doing issues of Marvel Team Up. So, his speed, professionalism, and ability to draw team books, pretty impressive. Moments later, in a rather close assembly room. To begin with, I think the main reason why the Avengers have been considered a security risk should be patently obvious. There are just too blasted many of you. The National Security Council can't even keep track of who's coming and going. So we have this incredible Byrne version of the Perez cover, which I think I've talked about on shows in the past. But yeah, here's the Perez one again. And then, of course, we get the Byrne version, which is really cool. Two masters at work. It's pretty neat to see them draw sort of the same thing in their own different, unique ways. Pretty cool. Another interesting thing about this assemblage is we have the Guardians of the Galaxy, who really aren't even Avengers at this point, but they were left over from the Korvac saga. Remember, we're in the fallout of the Korvac saga. Prior to this, Korvac saga ended with 177. 178 and 79 were fill-ins, and they're not terrible, but they are fill-ins. And then now we were back 180 here, and John Byrne's taking over as regular penciler in residence for 10 or 12 issues, with maybe one or two interruptions in there. So Gyrick is about to lay the smackdown on the Avengers membership. And we're going to have Hawkeye here pretty soon utter one of the most immortal lines, but let's read up to it. Therefore, in order to regain your priority privileges, you'll be required to pare down your membership to a core group of 7. Other operatives may be called in during emergencies, but we'll have to undergo special security clearance at those times. I'm the leader of this team. I should be the one to make policy. I don't like this a bit. Maybe not, Iron Man. But would you like going without Avengers priority any better? You've got a point, Cap. No objections? In that case, your 7 core members will be... What? Now wait just a minute, Gyrick. You may have a lot of weight to throw around, but you can't dictate our membership to us. Just who the hell do you think you are? I'm the government, mister. Any more questions? I love how Byrne draws him with that smirk on his face. It's just so awesome. So much character, even though he has the sunglasses on, you can still see how smarmy he is. Good. This roster has been drawn up by the Council on the basis of uniqueness of abilities, established loyalty ties, and applicable regulations. The core members are as follows. Remaining as chairman, Iron Man, followed by the Vision, Captain America, the Scarlet Witch, the Beast, Alright, the Wasp, and lastly, the Falcon. The what? Hawkeye says. But why him and not me? That bozo's only powers are flying and rapping with birds. He's not even an Avenger. Hawkeye is right, Gyrick. We can't risk the whole team on an untried member who might not be able to handle it. I'm afraid you'll have to, Iron Man. Since the Black Panther isn't available, if the Avengers are to be sanctioned by the government, they'll have to adhere to government policies, and that includes equal opportunities for minorities. Minorities? Just what do you think androids are, and mutants, and for that matter, superheroes? Iron Man is right. This entire situation is absurd. The Avengers is an elite group. A crippled elite group if we don't get the priority back, Quicksilver. Just take it easy. I can vouch for the Falcon. He's a good man. You missed the point, Shield Slinger. The Avengers should be above the intervention of any government. Why, to even consider... great sequence of panels here is Quicksilver mysteriously and suddenly succumbs to some unknown malady that floors him. Excuse me a moment. Thor, get Quicksilver to the med lab, fast. He's not moving, he's not breathing. I'll call a doctor. Nay, Wanda, I will summon a physician. I know everyone may be got with great expediency. So here we still have sort of the ridiculous Thor is Don Blake plot line, which went on for years, decades really. So, I mean, I shouldn't really say it's ridiculous, but it's ridiculous. And I'm so glad Simonson got rid of it. But we're 5 years away from that. We still have 5 more years as Thor as Don Blake, which is crazy. So, of course, Garrick wants to know what's going on. But this mysterious individual who we saw earlier is quite probably involved soon. I'm glad Thor found a doctor so quickly, even if he couldn't stay around to see how things work out. But what about security? I know Thor vouched for him, but what do we really know about this? Dr. Blake, what's the verdict? I don't know, Iron Man, and I'm afraid I won't know until the results of the diagnostic tests are in. All right, Doctor. I'm sure you know best. That I do. Now, why don't you both try to take your minds off of this? Continue with your daily routine. Go save the world or something. I'll keep you informed. So here we have the departure of the Guardians, which is shown great. I love the cityscape in the background here and this winterscape that they're in. Jarvis has packed some snacks for them. They're headed back to the 25th century. I hope he packed a lot of snacks. That's a lot of centuries to travel. So are the Avengers, Starhawk. We couldn't have defeated the enemy without you. Sure you can make it home okay? No problem, Iron Man. So long as the time jumper in the Collector's orbiting ship isn't on the blink. Byrne really could draw the Guardians well. I mean, Byrne can draw any character well. It's just awesome. And here we have Wonder Man saying his goodbyes. Rats, the old digs just won't be the same without you, Wendy. I feel strange about it too, Beast, but maybe it's all for the better. From the talk we had earlier, I've decided to use my unexpected free time to try my hand at acting. If I can get used to playing roles on a stage, maybe I'll feel more comfortable in my role as a superhero. Remember, Wonder Man is pretty much unstoppable. He's not the greatest fighter in the world, but he's a pretty incredible combatant when you factor in all of his powers. To make him interesting, they had to give him some kind of weakness. And that weakness was, since he had quote-unquote died before, he was now afraid of dying suddenly and would freeze up at times during battles. Here's the Vision, who's essentially his brother because their brain patterns are named after each other. And of course, Hank Pym, Yellow Jacket, is also not on this new team. I don't know, Jen. I've been wanting to spend more time with my research. But the idea of only one of us being an Avenger? Oh, pooh, darling. You're not jealous, are you? Why, just think when I come home after a hard day of avenging how much fun it'll be getting reacquainted. Animal. So that's a tender scene. Obviously what came after in issues after issue 200. I won't dwell on it here, but here at least they seem happy. Yet again, elsewhere. 1 arrow, 3 aces, not bad, Clint. I was just trying to take my mind off the fact that I have to leave, and at a time when you might need me. We'll always need you, Clint, and I'm sure you'll be called in soon. But till then, still friends? Friends. Hey, is a bear Catholic? So here we get the departure of the Guardians. And Moondragon, Captain Marvel, and Ms. Marvel also all leaving here. Pretty great sequence. Great house ad for Power Man and Iron Fist. They're about to announce their new lineup when suddenly Wanda succumbs to the same malady. And so here we see this man, Django Maximoff. We are home, little ones, when we are together. I know, is a far cry from Vladivostok. But any place is home when we are together. And that is how we will stay. For though I've forgiven you for running away from me, naughty ones, I cannot allow such a thing to happen again. That is why I do this out of love. I'm sure you understand. Great Hulk hostess ad before we get our final page. My children. And it's pretty awesome here. We see Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch as little wooden dolls trapped by some kind of weird, obvious magic. Next issue, Honor Thy Father. Let's see, so we have Mail responding to Avengers 177, which was, of course, the climax of the Korvac saga. They really just print 2 letters, one by David J. Welsh and the other by Jacob Lasky. Looks like it's pretty profuse praise from them. And that's it. I mean, this is a tightly plotted, incredibly well-drawn, and very compelling story. There's no real supervillain in it. You can't really count poor Mr. Maximoff, as we'll see in later issues that he's kind of just a deluded old man who loves his quote-unquote kids, Wanda and Pietro. So with no real villain, we have some sort of sideline action with the security system, and that's pretty much about it. But man, it is a great issue. Very compelling stuff. They don't make them like this anymore, folks. Really incredible. It makes me wonder why they haven't done a facsimile edition of this yet. I hope they do. Of course, eventually, I had this at one point. I need to track down a covered version as well, because much as I dig coverless comics, I also want one with this amazing cover too, because it's just it's pretty sweet. This will be my beater copy that I'll read wherever I choose. But yeah, I'd like to get one with the cover too. And if you look hard enough, you can find one in fine shape for not that much money. But it is an important issue and a great issue. And I was so happy you shared it with me. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and tell your friends. And I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.